So I had a comment on my community page recently. By the way, you guys are awesome. And this person was basically saying, hey, I'm elderly. I feel like the witnesses are always around. Like, I feel like they're leaving their literature on my porch. It's making me uneasy. And they were saying specifically too that dementia runs in my family. That's what this person said. Dementia runs in my family. And I'm just basically concerned when or if things go south for me. Do Jehovah's Witnesses prey on the elderly and infirm or disabled or try to scam them? I thought that was a good question. The short answer is no. The chances are extremely slim that there's some nefarious character out there, some dangerous witness who's purposely trying to hurt you or scam you, other than just waste your time trying to indoctrinate you. And I strongly encourage anyone watching this who does have aging parents, if you haven't given this much thought, the witnesses will keep coming back. I mean, like, this is where it gets a little sticky. If it's your parents' house, they live alone, it's their property, and you don't have some sort of like power of attorney, I don't know, you'd have to figure out your legal options. But you might be limited. Like, you don't like the witnesses, but if it's your parents' house, I don't know, you might have to talk to a lawyer or somebody about that. In other words, just because you don't like the witnesses and you don't want them coming by your parents' house, I don't know if you can technically stop them. But here's a few pointers, just a few things to keep in mind so that you're aware. First of all, it takes one visit, and then they are like honey on fingers. When a Jehovah's Witness comes to your house, preaches to you, and then comes back, they call you a return visit. Oh, hi, good morning. Did you know that you could live forever on a paradise earth with no sickness, pain, death? No more diabetes medication. You won't have to use that walker anymore. No pain, sickness, death, injustice, all those lovely things. And then some nice 80-year-old lady with a walker comes to the screen door and says, oh, that does sound nice. They're in. To be clear, the person that came to your mother's door is not a bad person. They're just out doing their preaching work. But if you are not hip to them and how they operate, if your parents are lonely or bored, or like they're easily startled, they're in some sort of cognitive decline. They're not fully aware of their surroundings. And, all of a sudden on a Saturday morning, someone knocks on their door. They're not expecting somebody to come by. It might frighten them. I don't know what your circumstances are. I'm saying these are just possible scenarios. This is something to discuss with your parents if this applies to them. Because again, anyone with a pulse, okay, who will listen to their pitch or presentation, they will keep coming back. But no, the witnesses aren't going to physically or financially harm the elderly. But another risk, just throwing it out there, if this applies to you or maybe your mother or grandmother or something, maybe a witness comes to their door. This happens a lot of times. A witness will go to the door and the person, the householder, the elderly householder will think this is just a church. This is for charity. Here's $20. Like, they're not familiar with the witnesses. The witnesses are not charitable. Let me make that clear. They don't do anything as far as outreach programs. They don't even help their own. No soup kitchens, no help for the homeless, no Meals on Wheels, nothing like that in the witnesses. And adding another layer to this, the organization has a notoriously opaque donation system. So their own members don't even realize that their donations are most likely being funneled into fighting lawsuits against the organization. Now, I will concede this, that back in the day, probably like 20, 30 years ago, witnesses did just outright ask for donations when they went door to door in their preaching work, but that's not a thing anymore. So basically, the biggest threat that they pose is that they'll just be a nuisance. The reality is the only elderly who are really getting scammed are the ones who are already Jehovah's Witnesses. Hardcore card-carrying members for decades, unfortunately. They are the ones that are pressured constantly by their leadership to contribute. And in fact, in the past 10 years or so, the organization has gone so far as to say, you're putting your will together. You can donate your home, donate your land or your property. Here, we can make that real easy for you. Step aside, son, daughter, what extended family? We got this. Make your check payable to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. They're snakes. So again, the ones who are being screwed over and who need to be the most vigilant, unfortunately, are already in the organization. But alas, if this is a concern of yours, you specifically, or your aging parents, and you want to protect them, here's a few things that you can do. Number one, put up a sign. Don't just put up a no soliciting sign and expect that to work, because witnesses will claim that they're not actually soliciting you for money. So if your goal is, I don't want to talk to you, you have to be explicit about that. Literally make a sign with a Sharpie or Get something professionally done. Go to Kinko's or whatever. Print out a little laminated card. Not interested in Jehovah's Witnesses, and tape it to your door. I remember going to a couple of homes that they would make a joke out of it. Like they would have, I don't know if you can find these, maybe like on Amazon or wherever you can find them. But like they would have a doormat. No thanks, don't need a vacuum, already found God. Basically no salesman stuff or religious stuff. Or, again, you can explicitly name the witnesses. That might be tacky for your front door. That's something to think about. Maybe you don't want to have that printed out or laminated or stuck to your front door for every guest to see. You got friends coming over, Thanksgiving dinner or whatever it is, and you have this like tacky sign on your door. Maybe they like it, maybe you're cool with it. That's up to you, that's your house. But even with this option, I am sorry to tell you, you still run the risk of an arrogant, dumbass witness walking up to your door and going, "Oh, I don't care. I'm going to talk to them anyway." Most have the sense not to piss off a householder, especially if you explicitly have a sign on your door. But there is a subset. There is a percentage of witnesses that will look at that sign and go, "Challenge accepted," because they're narcissistic and stupid and wonder why no one wants to talk to them. All right, option 2. Number 2, do not call list. All right, so if, like this other person on the community page, if you're just sick of the witnesses coming by, it's leaving you uneasy, you want them off your porch, you have 2 options. 1, you can wait until another witness comes to your door. It's most likely going to be on a Saturday morning, maybe it's midweek. Just wait for another witness to visit your home one day and just be like, "Hi, I'm not interested. Please put me on your do not call list." Now, what I'm about to say you might disagree with or think that I'm crazy for saying this, but there's no need for you to be nasty or rude. Like, don't yell at them. Don't slam the door in their face, especially if it's like a teenager or kid. They don't want to be there. All right, ask to speak to an adult. And even then, don't be an ass about it, because honestly, it says more about you if you can't control your temper with a total stranger. Trust me, I understand your frustration, but you have to also understand that the person who's coming to speak to you that morning, who happened to walk up to your door, may not know. Let me reverse that. Most likely doesn't know, because oftentimes they don't coordinate and nobody's on the same, people aren't on the same page. They don't know what you've been dealing with. They don't know the backstory, so don't put it on them. It's not that person's fault, so just don't be crappy to them. It would be a different story if like the same person was coming back to harass you every Saturday. That would be a different story. And plus, with all of this, they're taught that they're taught that anyone who's not a Jehovah's Witness is just angry and hostile and ready to just yell at them. So don't give them any ammo, all right? Don't give them the satisfaction. All you got to do is be firm, wish them well, and send them on their way. But if all this doesn't work, option 3. Number 3, call the local Kingdom Hall. Okay, so let's say you did all that other stuff and you told the person at the door, "Please put me on your do not call list." If that witness does the right thing, they will put you on the do not call list. They'll let the elders know, not a problem, you're done. If for whatever reason they don't follow through or they don't respect your wishes, call your local Kingdom Hall. You can Google it. Get several numbers, because usually there's not just one Kingdom Hall. Jehovah's Witnesses are everywhere. Unless you live in the absolute boondocks, you're probably going to find like 10 Kingdom Halls within a 15-mile radius. Okay, now, if you call during their meeting times, which is technically, there's several times during the week in the evenings and also on Sunday during the day, your call will be routed to whoever is on duty, whatever brother is on duty. He'll be polite, you can talk to him, but if it goes to voicemail, your call is then being routed to an elder who is like the top official in the congregation. You say, "Hey, my name is John Smith. I live at 666 Atheist Lane. I asked you guys to put me on your do not call list and people still keep coming by. I'm getting pissed. This needs to stop." That'll do it. They will keep a record and it will get done. But I would also say, like, give them a 30-day buffer. Basically warn them, "Look, I'm giving you guys 30 days to enact this. Talk amongst yourselves, contact, you can call all the Kingdom Halls in your area, or just warn them, be like, "Look, tell whoever you need to tell to make this stop. All right, I'm giving you guys 30 days. If the problem persists past the 30-day mark, I'm going to be contacting the police." And the reason I say give them a buffer is because I was a witness for 30 years. And I can tell you right now, the witness that you told, whenever that witness came to your door and you were like, "Please put me on your do not call list," that witness might be a dummy, will forget. They might have good intentions, but they won't write the note. They'll forget to write a note. They'll forget to put it in their little notes app. It'll somehow get lost or deleted. Basically, it's just incompetence. It's not a conspiracy. for them to keep harassing you and coming to your door. I just want you to know that. You got to think about that, because then it's a vicious cycle, right? Because they didn't keep meticulous records and do what they were supposed to do, then other people didn't get the memo. Don't go to John Smith, right? So someone new shows up at your door and then you're really pissed and then you yell and you get angry at them. Talk to somebody in person if you can. If not, just go ahead and leave a message. They will get it. And then give them that buffer for it to take effect. And honestly, I know if you're annoyed, if all this describes you, I understand your frustration and being annoyed by them, but honestly, I'd be shocked if they came back that quickly. You might. There's a chance that one person will come back, or you might get one other person faster than you thought you would, and it's getting kind of annoying, but it doesn't happen all the time. I'd be shocked within that 30-day buffer that you get 4 more families knocking on your door. Because I know somebody out there in the comments is going to be like, oh, yes, they did. They came to my door 16 times in 1 month. Bitch, no, they didn't. They may be annoying, but you're overblowing it in your head. You're going to be okay. I'm not saying they're not obnoxious or that you haven't had bad experiences, but it's highly unlikely that you're going to get more witnesses, an influx of witnesses in that 30-day period. But do the witnesses prey on the elderly and infirm? No. Technically, they have the religious freedom to come to your door. But if you follow these guidelines, if you express your concerns that you're not interested, please don't come back, put me on your do not call list, you do have legal recourse and you shouldn't have a problem after that. If it happens again, just say no thank you, ask them to leave. You call the police and say, hey, look, I warned the local Kingdom Hall, I warned the elders. This is still an issue. It has not been resolved. Can you please help? You're a former witness watching this. If I'm wrong about something regarding the legal angles, issues, or whatever, and you have some advice or whatever, go ahead and leave it in the comments. But no, they're not going to hurt you or scam you. It's just annoying. I get it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon.